We got some more windbreaker. We had some fighting going down. We're towards the back end of our arc here, and it looks like our leader's got some things that he's about to put into action here. He's seeing the side of Choji, who is kind of too far gone, you know, for him to even hold back on. He's ready to really go all out, which might awaken another version of Choji. You know, they might not just be we just literally have the upper hand in every aspect and we can kind of knock him down. He might have been waiting for this, really, that challenge that he wants, and he might actually surprise us, is kind of the way that I'm feeling here. But I still think we'll come out victorious by the back end, and I don't know if that just means that we have to completely pummel him in the process and beat some sense into him and teach him through a conversation, or something else has to happen. I have no idea. Regardless, excited to see how that actually happens. Hope you guys enjoy. If you like it, all, like and subscribe to me. Lots of if you ever do, stick around for the discussion. All the comments of this particular series. Let's go on episode 9 of Windbreaker. Nobody can even say anything. It's such a beautiful display. Jeez. That's like the third time you've slid under him so far. It's not a good spot. Just flip the switch like that. The lights out. Would never be that easy. That's what I said last time. He couldn't feel the strength kind of anything or anything behind him. He just felt like it was too light and he was just running really fast. I guess weight in that sense, yeah, okay. They didn't mean it how I meant it. Right, his ability to get his fucking leg up that quick is crazy. Like he just spins around and does it again. That's nuts. Brother. Oh my god. So telling him if you're just fighting the fight, it's not good enough. I'll be damned if I let you hold me back. This is what I feared though, is like beating some sense into him, that it forces an awakening out of him. Let's get down to the bottom of this. Doesn't seem like you're having fun right now, though. Damn. Fuck. Oh, that was hair, I think. I wonder what that was. Yeah, okay. Still, the level of craze you have to start just ripping it out. So much for what he said since the beginning. Pretty early up as he started moving on the ranks. Jesus. Alright, there's a little bit more behind it now. Okay. You're just gonna let him? Just let him lose some, blow some steam. Gas him out. I personally would not let another man beat me like this to teach him a lesson, but I guess we're simply different.
すまん。お前を追い詰めたかったわけじゃないんだ。そこまで切羽詰まってたんだな。うるさい！でも好きになって全部壊しちまったらこれからもずっとしんどいまま。うるさい！うるさい！うるさい！
Brother! Why?
大丈夫だ。お前の中にちゃんと答えはある。
There's little bro in him.
シュトーレンが揉めた時のこと覚えてるか？結局は勘違いだったな。
What's happening right now?
ありがとな。助かったぜ。
そう言われると嬉しいな。
Happy when fighting for others.
最高に楽しかった。
お前の拳は重かったよ。
You were full of life, brother.
あの時のお前はキラキラしてたよ。富山。あの時見えていたもの。
It's within you,
そ
brother.
れがお前自身とてっぺんに必要なものだ。ありがとう。思い出せ富山。
あれ
Hopefully this fucking headbutt will help you.
どこと喧嘩するんだっけ？
はあいやいや、お前は本当に大物になる。
Was it just having fun being around the people and fighting for them? Doesn't matter at all who.
楽しい。ずっとこれが続くといいな。ねえ、カメちゃん。あれ？カメちゃん？カメちゃん？あれ？なんだこれ？あれ？カメちゃん？なんでそんな顔してんの？梅ちゃんに負けたんだ。カメちゃん、俺、昔の夢見てたんだ。
If you can apply it all correctly, I would not say you lost.
それで俺、なんかわかったんだ。みんなが楽しそうに笑ってれば、俺も楽しいんだって。だから、ね、笑って。
The thing he left behind, the thing that he changed himself for, so you would continue to do.
俺がジョージを一人にした。ジョージが何に苦しんでるのかわからないまま、みんなをジョージから遠ざけた。ジョージがみんなを傷つけて。
So you took them all from him.
嫌われることが嫌だった。
And instead you removed everything from him too.
許せなかった。
理想？
Listen, don't blame yourself, brother.
己を貫くためにぶつからなきゃいけなかった。話をしなくてごめん。答えを一緒に探さないでごめん。一人にしてごめん。そのせいでジョージに必要なものを俺は取り上げてしまった。
本当に信じてたんだ。
But as a result, you ended up not having fun and you took the fun out of it for everyone.
行こう。山の上にある宝箱を目指してるみたいでワクワクした。
When you got up there, there was no treasure at the top and you were alone when you did it.
すっごいことが起きるんだろうなってドキドキした。
You lost sight of the thing that made it so thrilling and excited wasn't even the treasure, but it was going there and being with the people that you love around you that make you happy. And in the process, you lost it.
でもいざなってみたら何もなかった。次はどこに行けばいいのかもわからなくて、何をしても何も感じなくなって虚しくなるばっかりで、それでみんなのせいにした。チーム全体が弱いから自由じゃなくて楽しくない。だからチームが強くなればみんなが自由になって、
And you'd start having some fun.
今度こ
Yep.
そ楽しくなれるって。カメちゃんが取ったんじゃないよ。俺が最初にいらないって言ったんじゃん。そうだよ。俺はみんなでバカ笑いしてたあの頃。
And your own lack of understanding on the situation resulted in others making some, poor judgment in the scenario as well, which just turned
自
everything
分で壊
south.
したんだ。バカだな、俺。カメちゃんがいなかったら今頃何にもなくなってたね。きっとずっと前からそんな顔してたんだね。
Yep.
俺がさせてたんだよね。
Yep.
それでも俺とみんなをつなぎ止めてくれてたんだね。
And in the process, he isolated himself. He lost himself on the thing that made him happy, and he became alone.
ごめん、カメちゃん。痛かったよね。辛かったよね。ごめんね。ごめん。ごめんなさい。けじめつけるね。
Oh, he's gonna take it off.
俺は梅ちゃんに負けた。
おい富山。
だから獅子頭連を抜ける。獅子頭連は梅ちゃんのものだ。みんなをよろしくお願いします。
And if you're not a part of it, we don't want to be a part of it, right?
え、やだよ。
Oh, that's what I thought that Joe was taking us off for. Yeah.
そんなつもりなかったし。
You wanted to take his over.
興味ないし、上だ下だとかめんどくさい。
でも
Can they work with us though? Can we get more of the town together?
今日から俺たち友達ってことで。まあだから今日の喧嘩はあれだ。親睦会みたいな。みんなも集まってくれてありがとな。
やっぱり梅ちゃんは面白いね。
They didn't even mean to be here.
じゃあ今日は終わり。
It was just being normal.
解散。
I can't believe Ume just sat there and let him beat on him and get everything off his chest. Just let him do that. That's kind of crazy. He's got some own trust in his own body and himself. He won't be hurting the next day, or that it won't matter. I mean, I guess it's relevant to him saying that there's no weight or anything behind it, so he's really not feeling it, but that's still crazy. You just let him kind of beat on him like that. Actually insane. Well, it's not the most complex thing. And it definitely wasn't from the start. And it was pretty obvious. I mean, if you go back a couple episodes ago, I talk about at some point, the things that ended up changing, especially when Joe realized everything around him in the group started to change, that typically it's that standard situation where, it's the cliche thing of, it's the real journey was the friends we made along the way, right? Or like the real reward or whatever it is, right? Which is the exact case that you kind of get here. The people that Choji ends up meeting, the people that he has following him or that he's kind of working with, he enjoys seeing them smile. He enjoys laughing with them, journeying with them, fighting others with them, fighting for them, having them fight for him, all of them having intent and purpose behind it. So of course, when you get to the top, it doesn't feel like they're all surrounding you and everything's still the same. There's a slight power dynamic. There's a slight shift in a whole bunch of the stuff that happens. And also you've been chasing after this thing the whole time while they've all just been wanting to have fun. You've been so head set on this is our goal. This is the end thing that we need to get to. So when you get to it, You're just left feeling kind of empty. And that's typically the scenario that happens. You feel empty by the end, hit the end of the road. You get everything that you could ever want, but what's next? What's there? And then you realize the thing that really kept you going, the thing that got you up every day in the morning, the thing that really kept driving you was the journey along that way, that process that you had. And he really did lose sight of it a long time. And everybody else kind of was pretty sure of the situation that they were in. I mean, Joe, even on the other hand, gets to fully understand that, and he knew what he was enjoying and having fun with, and he was never the same exactly as Choji, but he ends up taking on the burden himself, not realizing exactly what Choji was actually missing in that moment, which made it so much worse for him. So not the greatest thing, but like I said, I mean, it's the typical thing that you can kind of go down. It's not that complex. They dragged it a bit longer than I think it really needed to, but brother had to go through his moments. He had to fully grasp it and get behind it. So sure. And he's able to come to terms with himself by the back end. He's able to fully understand, I really enjoy this stuff instead. It wasn't the exact way that I thought it was going to be. And now I realize that what I'm chasing isn't everybody else getting stronger. And instead it's those people that's around me that I kind of left behind in the process. Like it's a pretty cool thing to really go behind. I really love Ume in this situation, and him using or talking about how there's no weight behind the punches that he's hitting him with. One, in a sense that he has no strength or anything it can be looked at, but two, there's literally nothing that he's fighting for. There's no purpose or intent or really anything kind of put behind everything that he's doing, and it just comes out kind of thin. It comes out bland. There's nothing there. And every time he hits him, he just doesn't feel anything. This is the person who's been promoting the entire time. We got to have a conversation, and I'm going to have a conversation without the words, but we're going to be able to have it through, actual hitting each other. We can feel that. And through our fists, we'll be able to do that. And that's another scenario, another thing that happens all the time. We fight constantly, your friends, other people around you. How many times have you seen people who didn't like each other and had to vent their frustrations through that, and by the back end of it they end up coming out and they're actually friends? That's a real thing that fucking happens. That happens so much. It happens a lot of times in relationships and things. People fight verbally, at least. I would hope it's not physically, but verbally, and you end up coming out, if you're able to, taking the positives and taking the things from that and rebuilding and coming out even stronger than you were before, and coming out even closer than you were. And there's always positives and things that can have, when you come out of things like that, as long as both sides are willing to work on that and don't have enough of an ego or enough of, themselves in the way that they refuse to kind of just step aside and realize what they need to do to continue to move forward and grow that bond and create something a lot stronger and better between them. We have that perfectly in the situation. By the end, Choji's fully able to kind of come around to it, wanting to be friends, wanting to grow closer to the people around him, even though he didn't end up fighting with them, but he was able to understand what he was missing and, what he's caused, the hurt and the pain that he's done to so many of them around him. And it's a wonderful thing for us to be able to have. I also just really love Ume being the one who's preaching all the time that we must kind of have our conversations in this sort of way. But him realizing, with the no weight kind of put behind it, him realizing with Choji not being able to watch the others and be moved in some sort of way or really feel that impact, that just having a simple one-to-one like that isn't really going to get the point across to him. And he verbally needs to talk to him. And if allowing him to have his own conversation and vent his own frustrations out by allowing him to hit him, and then allowing Ume to realize, okay, well, you're not doing any damage, and then I can talk to you, if I can kind of let you get it all out of yourself and put you in a state where you'll be able to kind of fall back on some sort of flashback and figure it out, it'll all work itself out. And it perfectly did. And he's such a cool character for that reason. And I think it all came together extremely well. He literally flipped entirely what he's been telling all the other characters is going to happen and what they're actually going to be doing, but instead let somebody else do it to him. And he kind of changed around his order a little bit and what he actually does. And I think it worked itself out really nice. The fighting's still fun. Of course, it's definitely takes the back seat this episode, and it's not as, I guess, grand as I was almost hoping it would be, especially for the two leaders. But we had some stuff to work through specifically with Choji, and it works a little bit more to showcase how strong and how, I guess, mentally strong in a way too, and just smart and how good of a person and leader Ume can actually be, which is pretty awesome. Choji struggling constantly to really find the thing that he wants, is anger. I mean, we get some really cool shots like that, and especially him pulling out his hair, starting to realize he's all alone. Nobody's around him. Ume just lets him fucking beat on him. I can't believe that. That's crazy to me. Look at the confidence in him too. Well, he's just let him do it. Insane. And then he bites him. Like, that's fucking unreal. And he just he just grabs him by the back. He's like, buddy, it's time to stop. I love it. He's not even bothering to fight back, and everybody else is like, what's going on? He's like, brother, we fought before. This is not you. Like, think back. There's something there that you're missing. And he fucking headbutts him into the flash. Grabs a hold of him and he tells him, brother, get to thinking here. Till he ends up waking up after realizing a bunch. Him and the boy Joe get to have a conversation. Each realize their wrongdoings in the situation. Unfortunately, through Ume's own kind of oversight on the whole situation and not being able to understand himself, it left Joe alone in the process, and Joe lost so much of himself because he tried to take on that burden of everything, and everything that made him happy and made him enjoy it, even if it was just seeing Choji, ended up going away too, because he lost all of his friends and everybody around him trying to take on this new role that he had, and it caused two of them to basically lose everything completely. This is like we got the picture already, but they keep going, so that's whatever. It keeps going longer and longer. We get it though. Come on. So we're able to kind of lift him up. We're able to break free. The two of them come together, which is nice. And he's like, all right, buddy, you can take over. I'm out. And he's like, I don't want that. Nobody wanted it. Go have fun with your friends, and we'll be friends too. It doesn't really matter, which is cool. I will say the unfortunate thing about it is it became a little repetitive, this arc overall, with the last three fights specifically all kind of forming around, let's fight a lot at the beginning, let's midway point of the episode after title card go into flashback and talk about that, and then develop it, and then just let's let our side win. And I did the same thing for three different fights basically, which is a bit unfortunate, just following that standard, rotation. But at the same time, we're still building towards you getting used to this. This is one of those weird series where this is like the introduction point still, right? So even though we're 9 episodes deep, we're still beginning relationship and development and stuff. It's not, some of the other ones, depending on, the kind of story and what they're trying to portray, takes 1 to 3 episodes, maybe, sometimes a little more, but roughly around there. This is one of those that, to get everything across, to make you fully understand a lot of these characters, while still not revealing all of them, because we still have plenty that we don't, it takes a longer time, and they have to display it in different ways. So we have to kind of be aware of that, and to expect it to move at a different rate or expect it to move entirely different up to this point would just be kind of wrong. And it does work, and it's not like it felt like it was dragging completely. It felt like there was any real problems with it. I just understand, in looking back and reflecting on it, that the format of it all was extremely, predictable, I guess, in a way, which is kind of something that we've noted the entire way, that it just seemed like we were just going to have a clean sweep, because there was no way that, main character was going to lose. There's no way that our leader is going to lose. Like, there was just certain orders of operation that we had to kind of fold under here that didn't really make too much sense. So once we got past the initial stage and they just kind of skimmed through it, it was pretty obvious the direction that we were going to kind of go. I like being able to flesh out and develop these characters. Now, they need to have something to them, because if we're just beating them down and giving them these stories and really spending a lot of time and going into them on things like this, just to have them be irrelevant to the plot now, to not have them join our group, to not have them actually, when we say be friends, like meet up and help us and, join in on future encounters and things that we have with other people, almost feels like a missed opportunity and just kind of a waste. And it just feels like it's there to be there, like it doesn't need to. And I much would have rather go into our actual characters and stories and things kind of involving them, as opposed to what we ended up getting. But that is all yet to be seen, so we won't really make too many judgments or anything on that. That's just me kind of yapping, but enjoyed it for what it was. Definitely wasn't the strongest of the episodes with the characters, as Joe kind of stole the fucking spotlight every time he was on screen, but it did a pretty good job. Hopefully he can fall under us at some point, or hopefully he just kind of joins up and he helps us out and he gets to stick around, because I would definitely love that. And hopefully we can have some more fun times. I have no clue what's going to come next. Hopefully Kotaha comes back in, because we miss her. Hopefully she's on screen every episode for the rest of this. That'll be great, but we'll see. If you guys liked it, all, like and subscribe to me, to me. Feel free to check out the videos and channel. If you come to this particular series, I'll be back for episode 10 next week. Obviously, a great one. Peace.